As I took a shower, I noticed one thing, and it was a deep sense of gratitude. And it was at this moment when I was actually grateful when I started YouTube at age 11. I was grateful that I, started my Instagram at age 10. And I was grateful that I discovered Roblox at age 11. And I know it sounds a little weird, but I think about the olden times. I think about those times when I became the early people, the earliest people who've discovered things at such a young age. And when I think about AI, I'm thinking about this moment where I've discovered AI at a very early time, right? And I'm thinking about right now, I'm just thinking about like account age and how old accounts really are, right? I never cared about followers. I never compare myself to anyone in terms of growth. Like right now, I don't compare myself to anyone else on YouTube, right? Or on social media. I don't care if that person has more followers than me, or that guy has more subscribers than me, or that guy has as much success than I do, right? Back then in the old Minecraft days, maybe I would have started comparing myself to others, and I can admit that I did used to compare myself to other people. But when I look back at it, when I start to record videos like this, I don't compare myself to anyone. Just compete. Like I post these videos for the sake of it. I post these videos so that in the next few years, when I look at it, I'm going to end up being grateful for it. Because the only thing that matters to me most when it comes to building a personal brand, to me, I don't care what the fuck people say, but I like to watch my old videos. I like to watch my old Minecraft videos. I like to watch my old pictures. I like to watch and just look at my old pieces of content. I treat it as if it's a fossil. My channel, my old videos, they're pieces of fossils, they're artifacts. And to me, it matters more than the amount of followers I have. It's been 2 months since my Twitter got suspended. And the crazy part is that I was extremely fucking pissed off because I didn't want to start over. And you know why? Because it wasn't because of the followers, but it was because of the account age. I didn't want to start a Twitter account that was actually made in 2025. I want an old account. I want an account that's super old. And so until then, I had no choice, but I have to create a new one. But here's the twist. I found that years ago, back around 7 years ago, I made an account all along. And it was around this time when I was seven, like back in 2017. So I was actually 12 years old at the time. I was still like starting my own YouTube channel and stuff like that. And during that time, when I realized it, I was like, fuck it, let's do it, right? And I was extremely hyped up solely because I want an account that's super old. I want an account that was made around 2016 or 2017 or 2015. I want an account that's really old. And at that time, it gives me so much spark of joy because it was some sort of deja vu that I've experienced. And I didn't know I made a Twitter account at 12 years old, and it's crazy. Like it's literally crazy. So until then, I wanted to be cautious of it. I want to be like careful with it because maybe it might be a little fragile. Maybe at some point, if I just log into this account, it can get suspended like that, like a snap of a finger, right? Because now I feel scared of using it and then perhaps getting suspended again. Losing 800 followers didn't really matter to me. Like at that time, I had about 800 followers. I lost all of my 800 followers, and here's the thing: like it didn't really matter to me. I didn't really care a lot about it. It's not like it's the end of the world because like I know the leverage, I know the skills that I can get to 1,000 followers with the skills that I've learned from Twitter, right? So, and that's why learning skills are so essential when it comes to like trying to go like follow for follow or engaging 24/7 and all this whole bullshit, right? So the only thing that matters to me the most is how long I've been there. I want to prove to the world that I've been there for such a long time because now, like, when I look at my own YouTube videos, I didn't care about the views. When I look at this video, when I make this video, I don't care if this video gets viral or if it gets pop off. Like, I only cared about how long I'm going to be able to look back at this video because watching these kinds of videos sets me an old thing. Watching them brings me back into 2017. It brings me nostalgia and it brings me back to becoming a kid again. Months ago, I spoke to an old friend of mine and I was actually thinking of coming back to Snapchat to go see my old friends, but I wasn't sure about wanting to come back due to my mental health issues, and I wasn't really sure about really coming back like 100%. Why? Because I didn't want to make a new account. I wanted an old account. And the crazy part, I don't want an account that's new. I want an account that's old. And if there was an account that was old, maybe I'll probably come back. Maybe I'll probably go back and get back on Snapchat. But since I deleted it for almost 2 years ago, I never really intended to come back unless if I can find an old one, right? But it's too difficult. I couldn't find an old account. But the thing is, I want to be known for something greater. I want to be known for more, right? And I feel like I want to prove to the world that I've been there long enough so I can be able to stand out from the crowd. Oh my gosh, Mr. B. But I've proved myself enough because the videos are there on my channel. My old videos are there for such a long time. So as of now, I'm going to talk about the 4 lessons that I've learned so far when it comes to playing the Infinite game or when it comes to trying towards like my experience of creating content for the past 8 years for such a long time, right? So let's get right into it. Lesson number 1. Your legacy matters more than your status. So you have to understand, it's crazy to think in the world of status, virality, and follower counts. And as those numbers dominate, they vanish. Yet those numbers begin to erase the best moments after being obsessed with it, but the solution, built for history, not for virality. When it fades, it's only your legacy that you have to live up to, and it has the potential. And that's why you gotta play the long-term game. Lesson number 2, nostalgia fuels purpose. It's sad how 99% of people delete their old posts, especially when I look at these guys I see on Instagram. Like, they always delete all their Instagram posts or like their TikToks or their videos on YouTube. They forget where they started and yet they become a victim of it. And to be honest, I was a victim of it too because one of my biggest regrets on Instagram and on TikTok was the fact that I should have never deleted my old posts. I didn't even know archives even existed on Instagram. right? And the problem is that they erase the proof that they tried. You know, when you delete the cringy video, you lose your transformation. The people want to see the transformation and you lose your why because your origin story is gone. But the twist, your past content resembles your why. Keep your old posts, watch your old videos. Later on, you'll be forever grateful that you've experienced it. And it's content that's going to anger you for a long period of time. At some point, you're going to become grateful that you've done all these things for a long time, which is why I always make these kinds of videos. Lesson number 3, your archive is your leverage. New followers only see you where you are now. But the problem, it's hard to relate to them in the long run. This is why it's kind of weird to see guys just simply coming out of nowhere on YouTube and they eventually pop off and eventually go viral, right? But here's the thing, without an origin story, your journey feels like luck. They begin to realize you're an overnight success. And that creates a sense of disconnection to other people. They can't see your failures, they can't see your struggles, they can't see your pains, and yet they can't even relate. Right? They might find it, oh yeah, it looks cool that, you know, this guy's getting into this stuff, but it just makes it hard enough for them to simply relate. And yet they don't belong into your world. And sadly, it's hard to give them a vision of a better life. The solution, your old videos are your biggest leverage. It is your origin story. Let people walk into your origins and they'll trust you for the current chapter you're in. Lesson number 4. Every cringe post is a new beginning. Ever felt scared because you're worried that your parents will judge you, or guys from school making fun of you? You're feeling the daily discomfort, the hesitation, you know, just before publishing. You wonder if whether those videos are going to actually offend them. But the truth, every creator you look up to felt this way. Even me. There's sometimes almost all my posts are always private because I always feel like those kinds of videos might offend someone, whether it's family or friend. I've always felt this way. And guess what? There's moments I have to post just for the sake of the long-term game, right? And the solution, think about how your content is going to go 10 years from now. Imagine looking back on how grateful you were for making these videos. And as you begin to look back with joy, every cringe-worthy moment becomes a growth stage. Just look at like every shitty video you make, or every squeaky voice, or any sort of like, you know, even if your face looks flabby, right? Even if you look fat, it will pay off because transformation sells. All right. The lesson, don't post for yourself, post for your future self. You'll think for yourself as long as your fans carry on. So yeah, so that is it for the video. And don't forget, feel free to join my newsletter. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.